Hi everyone. Today is August 15th of 2020. 49 years ago today, Nixon, just like Donald Trump did, is constantly interrupting television programs nowadays with updates on the COVID-19 situation. Nixon interrupted television on a Sunday night to announce some fiscal policy. He had temporarily suspended the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets. He had imposed a 10% tax on imports. I think that has ended. That wasn't permanent, at least. And he had froze prices for 90 days. I think it ended 90 days without the extension. Obviously, it has ended because we pay a lot more nowadays. I'm not sure how price freezes are enforced. I mean, things change all the time, right? One of the big disappointments I run into a lot is that a lot of so-called natural products used to be natural, and then they started to use artificial ingredients as prices went up, and you can't buy the old products anymore. How do you enforce a price increase when you can change the composition? Back when Nixon was making the announcement, soda, Coca-Cola, Pepsi in the United States used to be made with cane sugar. Granted, it was refined white cane sugar, but at some point throughout the 70s, it slowly got replaced with high fructose corn syrup. You know, if Nixon's price freeze were still in effect, I wonder how it becomes enforced on that, right? The manufacturers could claim it's a whole new product, right? Or they could keep the price constant but use inferior ingredients, right? Isn't that the same as a price increase, right? If they use less sugar, granted, less sugar would be a good thing, but that's a price increase, right, for the amount of sugar you're getting out of your soda, right? Or if they use less caffeine, right? That's what I really care about. I drink a lot of natural soda made by Zevia. It's made with stevia, and I drink a lot of tea too. If they reduce the caffeine in that because of costs, for me that would be like a price increase, right? So I wonder how any of that crap is enforced, right? It was probably more of a feel-good measure, right? It's kind of like I recently read about the mandates on wearing masks in public, but when I dug into the rules just out of curiosity, I mean, not that I want to bend them, I put on my mask in public, but when I read through the rules, there were so many exceptions to it. If you had so-and-so medical condition. And when was the last time you went to a grocery store and somebody asked to see your medical records? Right? That's probably illegal in a lot of places in the country, right? And then I think there were religious issues, right? If you couldn't put on a mask for religious reasons, it's a joke. And I regularly see people go to the store without a mask, right? It's a feel-good piece of paper that they put out there. It really doesn't have very much teeth to it. Granted, a lot of people like to follow the rules, so a lot of people aren't going to question that. But it's just really funny. Anyways, it's 49 years now, and I hate to say that that I'm happy about this, but I think COVID-19 might be the catalyst for that temporarily finally ending. Right, a lot of people are going to wake up to the fact that what they thought they had in their bank accounts or under their mattresses, or when Nixon made that announcement, right, a lot of Americans used to buy savings bonds, right. I remember it was very popular to buy them as a gift when I was a kid. Nowadays, a lot of people, well, in 2020, there's a lot of commotion about graduations earlier this year because they couldn't hold them physically, obviously. People were buying all sorts of graduation gifts. I didn't see too many people buying savings bonds, thank God, because I don't think they're a good thing. But I see a lot of people buying gift cards, right? I wish some people would buy a silver or a gold coin, right? I haven't seen that yet. That would be the equivalent of buying savings bonds during World War II, when America was actually a good superpower, right? Unfortunately, I haven't seen that. Sometimes when I get really good service at a restaurant, I tip a silver bar. I don't like to tip the silver coins because I don't want the waitress to mistake that for dollars and spend them. But I'll tip a silver bar sometimes. I haven't seen too many people give graduation gifts like that. What else? But this year, I've been making a New Year's resolution to go on a fast every time there's something to celebrate or to commemorate or to mourn about. And this is, the death of the dollar. Earlier this week, I did a fast for the death of one of Bon Jovi's relatives. I used to be a big fan of Bon Jovi, and so to commemorate the loss, this one's the death of the dollar. So I hope I'll do well today. I think I will, because this one I care a lot more about. I didn't really know Bon Jovi's relative all that well, but the dollar I do know very well. But I talked about in my last video how we export some of our we export some of our inflation, and we enjoy the good life here in the United States, and we export so much misery out there that go watch my last video. But I talked about how my last video on the U.S. debt clock, about how even when I go on vacation to other parts of the world, I'm actually saving money because, well, I guess it depends how you live your life, right? I live in a month-to-month apartment, so when I go on a 1-month vacation, I actually move out of my apartment, right? And then I go to the other country and stay in a hostel. And actually, when I look at a world map, there are plenty of places I could go if it's a 1-month vacation and still save money despite paying for the airfare, right? That's how distorted our economy has become, right? That's part of the reason why I love going to some of these events, right? I've gone to backgammon tournaments, obviously the Computer Olympiad, and those trips hardly cost me anything, assuming I can get off work at that time. Those trips hardly cost me anything because I book out of my apartment altogether during the time, right? Anyway, that's how distorted our markets have gotten since 1971, right? In 1971, I don't think that would have worked very well when the rest of the world realized that gold had value, right? Anyways, happy anniversary. I think this is the longest the entire world has used a fiat currency. Thanks for watching.